All right, welcome in to the Modern Dealer Podcast, episode 002. My name is David Farmer with Entice, and with me today is David Bertoncini with #Experts. How are you doing today, David?
I am just above perfect. How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing real well.
All right, ready for episode deuce?
Yep, number 002. And I think our last episode, it was going to be 112 degrees outside, and I think it was. And today, pretty sure that there's a monsoon out there.
It is hurricane conditions outside for sure. I mean, welcome to Florida. This is just how it is down here. We've gotten used to it. You and I have lived here for enough years to know this is just the norm. Welcome to July in Florida.
Absolutely. So our main topic today is YouTube. And is video why customers are ready to buy vehicles online? And that's going to be our main topic today. And we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube. We're going to talk about the advertising that you're able to do, so from a marketing side and also, more importantly, from an organic side. And we're going to share some tips and tricks that you can use to create original content, how to share it. Is there anything that you'd like to chat about before we get going into the main topic, David?
So YouTube, what comes up a lot, often, many people think that YouTube is a social platform. It is actually your number 2 search engine. And I know we're going to get into the description of YouTube, but a lot of people are very confused about that. And when you search anything on YouTube, how-tos, so many things pop up. But as far as one of my favorite platforms, this by far has to be one of my favorite platforms of all. It is now evolving more, and I know we'll get onto it later in the show, but it's evolving more into a social platform with some of the features that they've released lately. So we'll mow down into that, but what is YouTube?
So YouTube, according to Google, YouTube is an American video sharing website headquartered in San Bruno, California. 3 former PayPal employees, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jewett Karam, created the service in February of 2005. Google bought the site in November of 2006 for $1.65 billion. YouTube now operates as one of Google's subsidiaries.
I think that 1.6 is a discount rate nowadays. That going back, 13 years ago, 1.6 for as many eyes and as many hours. I understand if you were to try to just all the hours of video content that's on YouTube, I think it would take you, it's like 65,000 years.
Yeah, probably 65,000 lifetimes at this point. I think that I can't remember the statistic that I did read, but the amount of content that is uploaded every minute is more than a person can consume if they watched it.
In their entire lifetime.
For their entire life.
It's nuts.
So YouTube basically, as it states, it's a video sharing platform. The amount of people that actually access YouTube is staggering. Not only are people able to upload videos to YouTube, but it's also a very strong advertising platform. We're going to share some links in our show notes where you can learn more about utilizing the advertising platform. But I figured this might be a good time just to do a crash course on YouTube advertising. So I'm going to go through ways you can use YouTube as an advertising platform, the different types of content that you can share, different video ads that you can share, and how you can target. So let me just kind of get into this, and we'll chat about it as I kind of go through it. So number one, the type of advertising most people associate with YouTube is what people call pre-roll. Pre-roll really isn't an accurate description of that type of video advertising that you can do on YouTube, but YouTube actually calls that in-stream. So in-stream ads play before or during other videos from a YouTube partner. You can see 5 seconds of your video, and then you have the choice to either keep watching it or skipping it. You can pay when a viewer watches for at least 30 seconds or to the end of the video, whichever is shorter, or clicks on a card or other element in your in-stream creative. So for example, with a car dealership, let's say that you have video content that you want to use for advertisements. You can use video that you've created specifically for YouTube, or you can take your TV commercials and you can add those as in-stream ads. I mean, everybody that goes to YouTube knows that you're watching a video, you're going to be presented with an ad first. You have the ability to skip that if it is a certain time length, or you can choose to watch it. Now, from an advertiser standpoint, you only pay when somebody actually watches a certain portion of that or watches the end, or as I just said in the in-stream description, somebody clicks on some sort of element that's in the ad itself. Very popular way to use, probably the most popular way to use YouTube as an advertising source.
That keeps your cost way down versus Facebook. Facebook ads, I mean, if somebody clicks on it, then you're going to be billed for it. But that 30 seconds, that giving somebody to kind of make the decision if you're going to skip the ad or not, because usually you have that countdown of at least, depending on the length of the video, of at least like 10-second countdown it gives you before you can have the skip button. And that is the opportunity, if you're a dealer, to put your very best. Like a rodeo, you got 7 seconds to grab somebody's attention. So if they're going to stay on that, it better be the best 7 seconds, or you're going to bump out of that. The good news, like I said, you're not going to be charged for it unless that 30 seconds, if the video was only a 30-second commercial and they watch 15 seconds of it, if you consume more than a third of it, or about a half of it, then that's when you do get charged.
Yeah, that's what they're going to consider that a view. And Google or YouTube actually calls this type of advertising true view advertising. So you're only really truly paying for true views. Let's jump to the next type of ad that you can create, and Google calls these discovery ads. Video discovery ads appear alongside other YouTube videos in YouTube search pages or on websites on the Google Display Network that matches your target audience. You pay only when a viewer chooses to watch your video by clicking on the ad. So if you pull up any video in the YouTube platform, which I'll just do real quick, and you see any advertisements, well, actually, let's go ahead and pull up, see if we can get our first podcast to show up here in a search result. So if I pull up this video, any, let's see, in this case, it's actually just pulling up, but any ad, I guess what you're seeing right here on the top of the YouTube search results page is going to be one of the ads that are available.
You have to actually have ads turned on, and you have to have a certain amount of subscribers before you can turn your ads on. So that's why you're not seeing an ad right now
on our
channel. Correct.
Yep.
So it needs more subscribers. So let me mention to be sure to right now to subscribe to our channel, which would be the very best thing to do. And when you subscribe and you have an audience that you're trying to build, if you're trying to build your YouTube channel, a tip of the day would be make sure when they subscribe to turn on notifications, or a little notifications bell, for them to get notified once you put out new content. Same for you guys, if you could please turn on the notification bell. It actually helps with the algorithms and the searchability of the video. If somebody's subscribed to it, and that means they're very engaged in it, and ensure to comment also. So
yes, we'd really appreciate that. Moving on to the next type of video ad that you can do on the YouTube platform is a bumper ad. Bumpers are short videos that play before, during, or after other videos. The video must be 6 seconds or less, and viewers don't have the option to skip your ad. So that's another way that you can use specific content, and I'm sure everybody's seen that on the YouTube platform, where you can't skip it and you're kind of forced to watch the video. It's only considered a bumper ad if it is 6 seconds or less. Now, don't be confused with the other type of non-skippable ads there are. You can do longer form videos and require a user to watch the entire thing or more of it. That's just another type. The bumper ads specifically are 6 seconds or less, and I think it's a great way if you are creating content, advertising content for YouTube, to create specific content that is 6 seconds that might be similar to other 30-second spots or minute spots in a full narrative that you're creating that's available for YouTube. Jumping into the next one, let's go ahead and just talk about for action. YouTube or TrueView for action campaigns help drive leads and conversions by adding prominent CTAs or calls to action and headline text overlays to your video ads. Using this video campaign subtype, you can encourage customers to explore your product or service, share their contact information, and take other actions valuable to your business. So I know from experience that when YouTube first created the YouTube for Action or the TrueView for Action campaigns, it was a separate type of ad placement that you'd have to create. You'd have to upload a video, and you'd have to create the CTA. You'd have to enter in the text that you'd like to have on the video, and then after your video played, what would happen is you'd have a full kind of white fade out with a call to action button where a customer could then click through to any other lead form or to your dealership's website. What they've done recently is they've taken this capability, the TrueView for Action, and they just have made it an option that you can add to your in-stream ads. So that's just another way that you can create some engagement on the TrueView platform for video advertising. Going into the audience, so once you have videos that you want to use, you can use your TV spots right into the YouTube platform, or you can create special spots that you want to use to advertise on YouTube. Then you have to really figure out who you want to be able to advertise to. And that's where digital marketing really provides so many different features on really how to be able to hyper target customers that are in market. But what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll come back and we'll jump back into audience targeting for YouTube. All right, so we are back. Now we're going to jump right into audience targeting. There's still a lot of information I want to share during this podcast, so I'm going to try to kind of put the pedal to the metal so we can get onto the other stuff, but I think this is important to understand the types of targeting that you can do. And targeting basically means who you want your ads to show to on the YouTube platform. The first type of targeting is custom affinity, and this is something new that Google has created, both for the Google platform and for the YouTube platform. So in this case, custom affinity allows you to enter topics your audience is interested in to build a custom affinity audience. For example, we can create those interests by just typing in general information such as new cars, used cars, certified cars, new car dealers, Toyota, Corolla, Toyota Camry, Toyota 4Runner, Toyota Tacoma, etc. So just general interest topics. You can also type in specific URLs when you're creating this custom affinity audience, such as Toyota.com, Honda.com, Cars.com, Autotrader.com. And what Google is going to do through the YouTube platform is they're going to target customers that are going to be interested in either the types of customers that go to the URLs that's listed or have done some type of search activity that Google is going to identify as being interested in either the new cars, the used cars, etc. So this is something that really is an extremely powerful way to target customers, and it's something that Google has been working on for a long time. I was lucky enough to go to the Google Premier Partner Summit last year, and they talked specifically about the new custom affinity audiences that they were rolling out. One of the big things in creating the custom affinity audiences is that now they're taking data from every platform that Google has. So that's going to include information that they're collecting on the YouTube platform, in Gmail, on Google Play, on the Google search, really every Google platform. They're able to collect the data and then create these custom affinity audiences. So very powerful. Additional things that you can include in the search terms or interests is if you're curious on where to get information to include in these interests. If you go to your search term report for on your
YouTube channel?
No, not your YouTube channel, but not in your analytics report, but there's another platform, and forgive me, I'll make sure I put it in the show notes where you can get the search term report. It's from Google Analytics, but there's a separate platform on Google to be able to get that report. But what you can do is you can take your top 40 search terms for all the organic traffic that goes to your dealership website. You can also go into your Google AdWords account and then pick out your top keywords and include those as well. So that's available. You can also just look at the top OEM sites plus the top auto shopping research sites. So you can include Honda.com, you can include CarMax, you can include AutoTrader, Autos.youtube.com, KBB.com, and those are the type of customers that you would then be able to target with your video ads on the YouTube platform. Another neat thing about the custom affinity audience, which is also fairly new, is that you're also able to target people that have downloaded specific apps on their phone. So for example, let's say that TrueCar app, or if there's any other buying apps, AutoTrader has an app, Cars.com has an app, Edmunds has an app, Car Gurus has an app, there's other car buying services, or even other competitors like Carvana or FlexDrive. You can target people that have downloaded those apps. Now, for me, I would think that would be a very good indicator of somebody that really is in market and you'd want to be able to target, which actually is a good segue right into Google's in-market audience. And again, I'm going to try to keep the pedal to the metal here. So in-market audience, Google utilizes all 8 Google properties that reach over 1 billion people. So they have a ton of data points. And in all of these data points that they have for these billion people that have accessed the one of the properties that Google owns, they have 5,000 different in-market monthly intent signals. So 5,000 individual pieces of data that they're looking for to signify if a customer is in market. They also have the ability to dig down as deep, really to find out if a customer is interested in financing a vehicle, if they're interested in leasing a vehicle, whether they're looking at servicing a vehicle. So they can segment service customers versus people that are truly in market. And that's based on online activity of what they're doing, what they're searching, what search terms, to really find out if they're in market. And then you can target those customers right in your specific geo. So that's another thing that you can do is you can pick out what customers, how far from your dealership, maybe by zip code. You can do it by city. You can do it by DMA. A lot of different ways you can do it from a geo standpoint. So YouTube gives you the ability to target all these, leverage all of that data across all devices, utilizing all of these audience signals to make sure that your messages get in front of the right people. Let me just kind of go through. Okay, so there's another new piece to this is a true view audience. This is called a custom intent audience. This is where you can enter keywords your audience is searching for on Google.com. So this is a little bit different than the custom affinity that I was referencing earlier, where you could put information that the customer is interested in. A custom intent audience means specifically a customer typed in a specific keyword on Google.com. We can create those customers into a custom intent audience. So the way that YouTube describes it is this. Enter a keyword your audience is searching for on google.com. Start with at least 50 keywords from your Google search campaign. Enter more general keywords if you prefer to reach as many people as possible. For example, if you own a sporting goods store, you might want to choose general keywords like basketball shoes instead of something more specific like discount blue high top basketball shoes. Again, that's information directly from YouTube, but a very powerful tool. So for example, let's say that you're selling Toyotas and you're selling Toyotas in Tampa. If you put in a keyword that says, I want to buy a Toyota in Tampa, if anybody has searched those keywords on Google directly, that's the type of person that you're going to be able to target.
Nice.
All right, and then we're going to get into some more organic stuff here in just a minute, but I'm just going to wrap this up by talking about first-party audience lists. So with first-party audience lists, you can take your data, your CRM data, or you can create a pixel that goes on your dealership website and create a retargeting list. You can associate those lists in the YouTube platform, and you can target those customers. So number one, you can take offline data, third-party data. You can export it from your CRM, export it from your DMS. You can upload that into the system, and then Google is going to try to match and find those people. Additionally, you can create a retargeting list by putting a little small snippet of code on your website, and then again, you can find those customers and target your video ads to those. Additionally, you can take those lists and based on, again, that 5,000 pieces of data that Google is collecting on everybody that interacts on their platform, and you can create a similar audience to that first-party data and the retargeting. That's another great way to target. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is another way that you can target specific users online, and that's via placements. And I think this is a great segue into what I want to talk about from an organic standpoint. So with placements, you can target your video ads to specific topics on YouTube from video partners. So what I did is I put together a list of about 20 of the top automotive research sites. Now these are where customers are going to learn about vehicles, take video test drives, and you can see how many subscribers there are to these channels. So CarWow, 1.7 million subscribers. Redline Reviews, 564,000 subscribers. Toyota, 294,000 subscribers. Ford's YouTube channel, 1.9 million subscribers. And then you could even go a little bit smaller and find smaller channels. Like, for example, this Four Brothers Speed, 121,000 subscribers. And I would recommend you check out some of these sites that we have listed here and see the content that they're putting out on their YouTube channel. This is really where they're creating an audience for their content, organic content, where people are really engaging with to learn more specifically about cars.
I notice AutoTrader has the lowest number of subscribers on this placement, and has at 61,000 subscribers, and that is a huge company. I mean, as far as searches go each month, I know they have about 20 million searches per month on AutoTrader versus, say, Facebook or that platform at 120 million searches a month. So although AutoTrader may be the leading name, just the known name, but I heard a little saying this week that known is not always the best.
Yes.
Most known is not always the best one to go with as far as these placements go. So
absolutely, and so the main topic today is going to be a Think with Google article that came out a couple months ago, specifically about how people are using YouTube and videos for their automotive purchase research. And there's some great stats that we're going to cover. We're going to include this link in our show notes as well. I recommend that you go through it. There's going to be a lot of great information that we can share, a lot of great stats, and some key takeaways on some specific tasks that you can do to really start engaging with people more from an organic standpoint. And the statistics that we're going to share with you are pretty surprising. So with that said, we're going to just jump right in here. 92% of car buyers research online before they buy. Now, we know that this is true already. Anybody that's listening to this podcast, the Modern Dealer Podcast, we know that you guys are going to be the leading cutting edge people in the automotive industry. That's why you would listen to one of our podcasts. So we know that 92% of car buyers are researching online before they buy. But I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised on what they are doing while they are online. And video really allows customers to get behind the wheel virtually. So the idea is YouTube and this video content is replacing the need or desire for customers to test drive a vehicle before buying. What do you think about that?
It's better opportunity for a customer to, when you get behind the wheel of a vehicle. We've always, in the dealership, we've always pushed for test drives.
Yeah.
When a salesperson would come to the desk, is like, hey, did your customer drive the car?
Yeah, exactly.
And this day and age, most salespeople are going to tell you no, they didn't want to drive it. And they didn't want to drive it probably because they've done enough research on the vehicle. A virtual test drive in this day and age of, VR, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. A virtual test drive at least would be equivalent to like somebody shopping for a home and they took a virtual tour of the home. Still going to want to get the customer through there, but people are going to check out the interior of the vehicle that way. And if there's a good, powerful video that shows all the features that people are looking for, your most popular features that we used when David and I were in the car business, and we used the most popular saying, SPACED, the acronym SPACE for
safety, performance,
appearance,
comfort and convenience.
Yep. So we want to make sure
economy and dependability.
That's it. So I almost forgot the acronym. It's been a minute, but the SPACED demonstration of going through the vehicle that way is going to give that customer an opportunity long before they got to the dealership, since 92% of them are looking online. Long before they step foot in your store, they're going to check out the car virtually that way with a good, powerful walkthrough on a vehicle, not a walkthrough, excuse me, a good, powerful virtual test drive.
Yep.
And
I think that's the way that you need to look at it too, as a virtual test drive. Now, I can tell you from my own personal experience, I bought my personal last 3 vehicles without taking a test drive, and my wife has bought her last 2 vehicles without taking a test drive. So we're able to look online and look at all the features, get enough of a feeling, work the entire deal on the phone, via email, and go to the dealership, pick it up, and then drive it home. So I think more and more people are doing this, and really what the idea of this is that the test drive videos are replacing the need for the customer to see the car in person. I'm just going to read this real quick. So 64% of shoppers who watch online videos to inform their purchase say new formats like 360 video would convince them to buy a car without a test drive. In the past 2 years, watch time of test drive videos on YouTube has grown more than 65%, making a trend in online video consumption similar to the surge in electronics reviews and unboxing videos a few years ago. So in this link, here is an example of what a 360 real view video test drive looks like. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and play this, but I'm going to turn the audio down as we talk about it, David. So with this, I mean, as a consumer, I'm getting enough information from this video and others like it to give me an idea of what this car is going to perform like. I know, in this case, the Honda brand. I feel very comfortable in it. I don't feel like I need to go to the dealership and actually test drive a vehicle. And you can see here that in this case, I do have the ability to do a 360 view of the test drive itself. So not only am I able to do this test drive from their point of view, but I can choose the point of view that I'm watching. So I mean, this is pretty great technology, and if a dealership chose to create this content themselves, it is not very expensive. It's not very labor intensive either. A 360 video camera is not that expensive. You can get it for under $1,000, and you can create this type of content yourself. This is not going to be paid advertisement, but this is going to be organic advertisement. So very cool idea here on how you can interact in this 360 environment right in a YouTube video.
I haven't seen this 360 video, so I mean it gives you, like you said, a bunch of different points of view on the test drive. This video is a total of 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 45 seconds. That gives you a pretty good normal test drive. Be kind of around the blocks, a little 5-minute spin around the block. So this is enough information to kind of get a customer's palate going here. That hey, this is what they're looking for. So give them an idea of how the vehicle, what the space is of the vehicle, and this 360, man, this thing is
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. I'm sitting here playing with the thing.
Now, I'm glad that you brought up the time of the video. So in an advertising standpoint, we've always felt that we have 15 seconds or 30 seconds, maybe a minute to be able to communicate our message. What you're going to find is customers that are interacting online and consuming content online, you're going to find that is not the case, and the numbers that you're going to see are pretty staggering. So let's get to it. So according to Pixability, which is a company that researches digital space, creator-produced videos received 93% of the monthly views for all U.S. auto content on YouTube. So let me just say that again: 93% of all monthly views was creator content. So these are organic videos. These are people like the people that I listed in those YouTube channels. These are, the people that now are making a living on creating content and sharing it on YouTube. So that only leaves 7% of other content to be consumed. So with all the advertising that you're seeing for automotive advertisements, that's still only 7% of the entire whole. I'll continue to read this real quick. As the volume of auto videos on YouTube grows, creator content still owns most of the views, but brands are gaining ground, growing from 4% of monthly share of views at the end of 2017 to 7% just 1 year later. Now creators are showing brands how to engage viewers with a whole new range of content that goes beyond the classic car commercial. So just look at this chart real quick here. I don't know if you have it up on your screen here, but you can see the amount of content that is being consumed right now by all YouTube viewers in automotive based on creator content, produced content, or brand produced content. Going back to 2010, the amount of the difference was pretty drastic back then, but you can see the amount, how drastic it is right now, where the creator content has just skyrocketed over the last 7-8 years, and we've just started to see just an uptick in the brand created content. So what really that's telling you is that customers want to see organic content. So we talk about YouTube being a search engine, but it also is a social media platform for organic content.
Yeah, definitely. I want to get into that, get into the organic side of it, maybe after this next break.
Yes, let's do that. We'll take a break and we'll come back and get into the organic side of YouTube. All right, so we're back in looking at creator-produced videos. Creator-produced videos get significantly more engagement. So this is pretty interesting, David, talking about the difference between organic content and commercial type of content. Pixability, again, they analyzed the top 200 most viewed videos in auto from 2017 to 2018, and then classified them into 7 popular categories shown in the accompanying chart. So just real quick: commercial, highlights, maintenance, digital film, vlog, education, review. You can see the viewership for those types of videos. So you can see you get a high amount of commercials. So with the utilizing of YouTube platform for TrueView type of advertising, you're going to get a ton of presentations of those videos, a lot of time, especially that a customer is going to be forced to watch a few seconds of it. So you take all that into consideration, you're going to get a high amount of viewership. But if you go to engagement, you can see that the commercial basically drops down to nothing. And where the engagement is, that's going to be likes, comments, shares. That's really where it's all being done on the organic side. So that's a pretty cool way to look at that. And I think this is a good representation of anything organic versus commercial, whether that's Facebook posts, Instagram posts, or YouTube content. What do you think about that, David?
Well, you got to remember, YouTube started out with cat videos. So this was the birth of YouTube, was cat videos, and people were more engaged looking for that type of content. You blast commercials on there, there's really nothing to engage with. It's just it's a one-way conversation with a commercial. So your commercials, since they're bumper ads, there is some of them you can't skip, so you're going to watch a good 8 seconds of it. So that's going to kind of skew these numbers to showing that many views. But organically, we know that the best seems to be the vlogs, and the vlogs being creator content created by like those 2 guys we watched on the test drive, jumping in the Civic, cruising around, hanging out with the bicyclists. That's more of a story, and the stories is what sells. The stories tell and sell. So looking at this chart, I looked at this chart before the show today, and I was just blown away by, as far as the educational and the reviews. My own YouTube channel, I did a YouTube live yesterday, and I asked a polling question. And it's like, what do my viewers want to see more of? Do they want to see more of reviews? Do they want to see more tips, tricks, and hacks? And which way did they want to go? Was A or B? And creating a poll out there. And I do believe probably most people are going to want a mix of the two. So just a combination of the two from my own view. But going back to the vlogging, in case some people don't know what vlogging is, it's just like being a blogger, but you're video logging. That seems to get the most views, and it gives the audience, like I did with my own audience, the ability to engage with a question, and that question being that versus commercials. This is getting into the thick of what I love to get into here. Nearly 2/3 of the top creator videos in this analysis were over 10 minutes long, and people are engaging, or people are putting these videos out there, going longer on the videos, which a commercial is going to be short because they're just trying to get to a punch. This here, since people are spending 92% of the views are people that are sitting there trying to figure out, okay, is this the right vehicle I want to buy? If you have a creator that puts this information out there that may not be from a dealership, it's just somebody third party out there that's putting it out there, people are watching that. But if you take a salesperson, and I walk up the dealerships all the time as a vendor, David, you do also, and what is the thing that we see at every single dealership? Salespeople are just standing around outside, and I always look at it as an opportunity that a salesperson could be Okay, if you have nothing to do, then how are you going to create your own business? Creating your own business is right here. These guys that are creating videos are getting paid a ton of money. They're not even in the car business, and they're doing these 360 views. People are getting like, all jacked up and excited about their videos. And these guys, they're making money and they're not selling cars. As a salesperson, this is an opportunity for you to, create these videos, you don't want to call them a walk around video because that's just something that's internal. Like, in our business, we call things ACV, the box. You don't want to call it that. You want to call it a virtual test drive video because people are searching, as you went over earlier in the keywords, they're searching for test drives. How can I experience this vehicle without showing up just yet to the dealership? And these creators out there are creating these videos to make you feel like you actually rode in the car, and they're doing a really good job at it. And the point I want to drive home with this is your salespeople should be doing these videos. They are the professionals. They're being paid to sell these cars. If you could get salespeople every day to create a video, it could be maybe a medium range of maybe 5 to 7 minutes. The one that we saw was 2 minutes 46 seconds. You go a little bit deeper, a little bit longer as the audience builds, but you've got so many products on the lot just to do a video of. Salesperson can do one just to get into rhythm. Do one a week of your core 4 products. If you're a Toyota store, Toyota or the Camry, Corolla, Prius, RAV4 being your core 4 vehicles. Get somebody out there to get your salesperson, get every salesperson out there putting their own content, their own videos. It segues into that. So what do you think there, Dave?
I think you're absolutely on the money. The idea that salespeople today have access to social media, they have access to YouTube, they have access to an iPhone. I mean, the quality of a video and the audio portion of it that you can get just from their iPhone really is spectacular. And that's the point of view and the content that customers are really looking for. It does not have to be a fully produced video. It can be something where I take the phone and I just point it up, do a selfie style video as I'm walking around the vehicle. As a salesperson, when I was selling cars, I knew my product, and I believe that your salespeople know your product as well. And if they can pick 1 or 2 features on a vehicle and do a video, they could do that 1 a day. I mean, as they're waiting for their next opportunity to speak to a customer, there's no reason that they can't create a video, upload it to their own channel. I mean, if I was selling cars today, there's no question that would be all over creating video content. And it does not have to be highly produced. It could be very simple. And actually, the more simple, the better. It doesn't have to be professional, and I mean the time frame really doesn't matter. Whether it's a 5-minute video, a 10-minute video, or even longer. The longer videos are the ones that are actually getting consumed. It really is just absolutely spectacular.
Before YouTube was available and talking about produced videos and overproduced and underproduced, if we just take your cell phone and just hit record. What was the scariest movie of the late 90s, early 2000s was The Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
But you think about that was like the shaky camera made it scary at the time. But I mean, it cost less than $30,000 to make that movie, and it was like the top grossing movie of 1999 was the Blair Witch Project. That goes to show that if a salesperson simply can just do a selfie style video, go through a test drive of the vehicle, make it fun, make it different too, because what's going to stand out when you do these videos, organic videos, the best way to get them to stand out, if a salesperson is going to do their own videos, is to making sure that they're using in the title. I just typed in while we're sitting here, best test drive ever, and then all these great test drives popped up. But you might have to just do something what I call a long tail title, and best test drive ever on a Corolla S.
Yeah.
That's how going a little bit long tail, going a little more descriptive into the searchability of finding that video. And then you put in the description of the video, you can put all your keywords, Toyota Corolla S model, Toyota Corolla XRS, and you can start to keyword it. But for a salesperson to get themselves to bring business to the store and not rely on the dealership so much for traffic, doing these videos, is it's incredible. I'll tell you a quick story about a salesperson, and I'm going to pull her up here on her channel, Laura Madison. She was let me pull her up here. She was a salesperson in a dealership in Montana. So I think it was in Billings, Montana. And her channel has got 4,500 subscribers, 288 videos. And she actually was a college student, graduated college, and I think she went to NYU. She wind up going back home to Billings, Montana, I think it was, to this dealership. She didn't know, she couldn't get a job in her profession, so she decided to sell cars. Gets to a dealership, and here she is as a college student, 22, 23 years old, fresh out of school. She doesn't have a customer base or anything like that, so she rolls up to this dealership. She says she wants to sell cars, and she doesn't have any other way. She can't afford a billboard. She can't be in a newspaper, radio. There's no way to get her name out there, and she's competing with salespeople that have been at the store already for 15, 20 years. So just a bunch of old car dogs on the floor. So what she did, she started shooting YouTube videos.
Yep.
And she was pounding away, and then I'm looking at some of her videos here. If I go to her old stuff, 7 years ago, she's doing walk-arounds. They're not walk-arounds, but here is a couple videos on a Prius V2 intro. It was 4 years ago, had 990 views. But a couple of her videos went viral, and what happened was this, is she was just plugging away at YouTube every week, making videos, and she had very low views, and a couple people were watching them and everything. Here's one right here. So here's a Prius V. It was a VC and Prius V, Prius C, Prius liftback video that she did. So she kind of went long tail on the title. It got 6,700 views. And what happened was, from a video similar to this, she did a video and she had a customer come into the dealership. They closed at 8. The customer walks in at 7:30. She's been pumping out videos for 4 months. She has basically said she got nothing out of the videos. This lady walks in. She goes, "Are you Laura Madison?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I've been watching your videos. I'm here to buy a Highlander."
Yeah.
And that's, for a salesperson, that's how it naturally happens. For you just don't know what
you just
video.
Put the work in. I mean, it's just like any type of self-branding. This just gives you the platform to do it. It's like, take what you got, do what you can, but do it now. That's great advice that was given to me a long time ago from a business partner. Take what you got, do what you can, start now. So I'm going to give you just real quick some information that you can take back to your next sales meeting and share with your salespeople. You tell them to take their phone, you tell them to put it to a selfie mode, and you can just put it up right here. I'm not telling you anything that's magic, but you just go ahead and record that. I'll share this video at the end of our video here, but it's as simple as saying, "Hey, my name is David Farmer. I'm with ABC Toyota. Today I'm going to take a look at the new 2020 Corolla. Really, this is an absolutely phenomenal vehicle. There are great features that I'm going to be able to share with you. Then we're going to take a quick test drive." So I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to learn about the new 2020 Corolla, and I'm excited to do it with my buddy here, David Bertoncini. So something like that, it doesn't have to be produced. It has to be something that's real. So that actually brings me to the key takeaways from this Think with Google article that says what auto brands can learn from YouTube. The number one thing they say is make it feel real. So nothing that's highly produced, off the cuff. Just do what you're doing. Be authentic. And this is the information you want to share with your salespeople. Pick up the phone, go do a walk around, which what we learned how to do it. But you just do an unboxing. I mean, that's a great idea right there. Do a 2020 Corolla unboxing and use that title. I think that'd be a great way to do it. And then you can do 3 or 4 different features. And then the next day, you can do 3 or 4 other features. I mean, how many models are you able to do that on? How many new used vehicles are coming into inventory? You can do this every single day. I mean, and just imagine, I could tell you when we were selling cars, the type of shenanigans that was going on, the type of conversations. I mean, all that is just, funny stuff. You can take that personality of what happens at a dealership and share that. So make it feel real. That is the number one key takeaway that you could take in creating your own content. The second one is exclusive, unique content. And I know from my experience that every single dealership is unique and exclusive. Would you agree with that, David?
Absolutely, because each store is going to have its own culture, its own location, its own. You're selling obviously a brand new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, but you're going to want to express your dealership's culture. And shopping for a vehicle from a customer's point of view, they're shopping for a vehicle and trying to find something that fits the customer's needs. But when they're shopping around and they discover a dealership that has personality, that they're posting some funny videos out there, they're doing some fun stuff when they're posting on these virtual test drive videos. I'll pull up one right here real fast just to show you some personality. But this is Toyota Jeff in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to show you one of his videos. He started doing the carpool karaoke long before what's his face there on late night television started doing carpool. 5 years ago, he's doing carpool karaoke's on his test drives with customers and like getting in the vehicle. His videos are produced because he's got a couple different angles. He's got, some B-roll and such, but getting in the car and just doing some fun stuff with the customer and just doing like a test drive karaoke. People fell in love with this guy because he was a character, and they're like, hey, I'm going to go buy, I'm not even in the market for a Toyota, but you know what? Maybe I'll consider a Toyota now, which I'm a diehard Honda guy. I'm going to go check this out and go see his carpool karaoke, which, let's see if I can play this here real fast. If it's probably picking up there on the other volume, but he's got customers in there jamming out to whatever song he's playing on the test drive, which is, as you can see here on my screen, these guys are having fun, so it's making it unique. It's giving that personality to your store and setting way apart from every other salesperson out there. Doing something organic, something different. And if you're not that type of salesperson, then be the salesperson that is just the information sharer. I'm going to share the information about this vehicle. I'm going to show
whatever your personality is. Be authentically yourself. You don't have to. You don't have to be a comedian. You don't have to be, a Grant Cardone. You don't have to be somebody that you're not. Just be yourself. Be authentic. Be who you are. You're going to connect with people. Whoever you're going to connect with, you're going to connect with, but that's what people are looking for. So make it real, make it exclusive, unique content. And then the last key takeaway in this article is invest in longer form content. So if you're still with us, this is a long episode, number 2, but if you're still with us, you're experiencing exactly what YouTube is saying, that people are willing to sit and watch longer content. So now the last key takeaway, or the last thing that we'll share with you before we get things wrapped up, is a tip. Now, if you want to invest in more professional style communication, but utilize the YouTube platform in an organic standpoint, you can do it with influencers. So I'm not sure even if you're familiar with this, David, but FameBit by YouTube is a platform that's created by YouTube that connects content creators, influencers, as we call them today, with brands. You could find somebody in your local area that wants to create content and that would be willing to help you create content for your YouTube channel or for their YouTube channel, and then feature you. So FameBit, FAMEBIT.com. You can register as a brand, and people will reach out to you, and you can create this organic, a little bit more professional content if you don't feel like you can do it yourself. But that's a great way to invest in a longer type of content. I would also highly recommend that you go out and look at the type of unique content that's out there. Look at some of these sites, YouTube channels. And just like you mentioned earlier, just go to YouTube and start searching, and you'll be able to see some great examples of content that's out there and how you can create that yourself.
What I've noticed, and as we wrap up here, is a lot of dealerships, you don't have control of your YouTube channel. You need to get access to that and regain control. I was looking at a YouTube channel earlier that a dealer's just posting 45 to 1 minute videos of new cars, and they've been doing this for years. And I sat down and talked to the general manager. I'm like, do you realize all those videos? How much are you spending for those videos a month that nobody's watching because it's just a commercial for the vehicle?
Yep.
If it's Google, if you can Google, power windows, door locks, AC comes standard on an LE Camry, then it's not necessary to spend thousands of dollars a month and put that as a paid YouTube service. You could just have a salesperson go out, do a unique video, something that's, if you got somebody that's a character, just get that salesperson out there, because you got a character in the store,
there's
right?
Plenty of characters in your store, yeah, believe me.
There's got to be somebody out there. But putting out content, remember this, and I said this in the last episode, but hashtag Triple C, it's content creates customers. You've got to keep feeding that content wheel out there and keep pumping out your YouTube videos. It's this right here is when David and I were selling cars, we didn't have this opportunity to sit there and show people like, hey, this is my test drive. Let me show you how I do it. Because I always thought when I was a salesperson, I felt like I had the best test drive route ever. I would make sure I knew the same spot. We would switch out with the two drivers. If it was a 4-wheel drive, I got to go off road a little bit, but it made it unique. But there was no way for me to broadcast that. But now with this YouTube platform, you have the ability to broadcast your uniqueness of your dealership with your salespeople. As we talked about, personality of the store, you have this opportunity to be able to get that out there with your audience and connect with them. And and it's a lot easier to buy a car from a dealership that you feel more comfortable with, just because you watched them for so many weeks on YouTube. Just like Laura Madison, that customer waited several weeks, maybe several months. I mean, she was plugging away at it for 4 months until that lady walked in 7:30 and bought a Highlander from her. And it was just like, when that was just the one little piece of motivation she needed to go further and go faster. She's when I met her, she was a keynote speaker at sales manager executive training for Toyota.
Very cool.
You've got to do pretty well in order to get to that level. And she only been in the car business maybe a year when so many manufacturers were reaching out to her. SET reached out to her and said, hey, look, we want you to be a keynote speaker. She wound up getting out of retail at the dealership level and started training on how to do what she did, which everybody should be doing.
There's no magic to it.
No magic at all.
Take
Just
what you
hit
got,
record.
do what you can, start now. Anything else while we wrap up?
Let's. I think we covered it all, man. I think we covered it all.
I think we did. Thank you so much. Appreciate you tuning in. All right. Goodbye.
All right.